Hi, this is Eleanor with Audible Local Ledger. Today I'll be reading some articles from the Fall River Reporter for Tuesday, 12/3/24. Our first headline: Middleborough, Lakeville, Bridgewater, Carver, and Wareham fire departments battle ablaze where occupant was courageously rescued by Ken Pava. A heroic rescue was made during a residential fire on Monday night. According to the Middleborough Fire Department, they received a phone call reporting a structure fire around 9:15 p.m. at 6 Locust Street. The first engine company arrived on scene approximately 6 minutes later to find a house with a fully involved first floor. Firefighters made an aggressive search upon local residents, reporting that they believed the occupant was still in the home. They were able to locate and remove a victim through a side entrance. The occupant, a 67-year-old man, was transported to Rhode Island Hospital by Coastal Medical Transportation Systems, and his condition is unknown at this time. The department stated that Middleborough firefighters, Local 3653, displayed incredible courage and teamwork to find and remove the occupant. Crews will remain on the scene through Tuesday morning to continue extinguishing hot spots. The state fire marshal is currently investigating the cause of the fire, which does not appear to be intentional at this time. The Lakeville, Mass. Fire Department, Bridgewater Fire Department, Carver Fire Department, and Wareham Fire Department all assisted Middleborough on the scene. Massachusetts Fire Marshal announces 21 firefighters graduate from 12 communities. Bridgewater. State Fire Marshal John M. Devine today announced the graduation of 21 firefighters from the Massachusetts Firefighting Academy's 50-day career recruiting firefighting training program. Massachusetts firefighters are on the front lines protecting their communities every day, and today's graduates are needed now more than ever, said State Fire Marshal Devine. The hundreds of hours of foundational training they've received will provide them with the physical, mental, and technical skills to perform their jobs effectively and safely. Massachusetts Firefighting Academy instructors draw on decades of experience in the fire service to train new recruits, said MFA Deputy Director Dennis Ball. Through consistent classroom instruction and practical exercises, today's graduates have developed the tools they'll need to work seamlessly with veteran firefighters in their home departments and in neighboring communities as mutual aid. The graduating firefighters of class number BW32 represent the fire departments of Abington, Brewster, East Bridgewater, Fairhaven, Falmouth, Hingham, Middleborough, Provincetown, Truro, Walpole, Wrentham, and Yarmouth. The Richard N. Bangs Outstanding Student Award, which is presented to one recruit in each graduating career recruit training class, was presented to firefighter Braden Thompson of the Wrentham Fire Department. The award is named for the longtime chair of the Massachusetts Fire Training Council and reflects the recruit's academic and practical skills, testing, and evaluations over the course of the 10-week program. Basic firefighter skills. Students receive classroom training in all basic firefighter skills. They practice first under fire conditions and then during controlled fire conditions. To graduate, students must demonstrate proficiency in life safety, search and rescue, ladder operations, water supply, pump operation, and fire attack. Fire attack operations range from mailbox fires to multiple floor or multiple room structural fires. Upon successful completion of the Career Recruit Program, all students have met the national standards of NFPA 1001, Standard for Firefighter Professional Qualifications, and are certified to the levels of Firefighter 1/2 and Hazardous Materials First Responder Operations by the Massachusetts Fire Training Council, which is accredited by the National Board on Fire Service Professional Qualifications. Today's firefighters do much more than fight fires. Modern firefighters train for and respond to all types of hazards and emergencies. They are the first ones called to respond to chemical and environmental emergencies, ranging from the suspected presence of carbon monoxide to gas leaks to industrial chemical spills. They may be called to rescue a child who has fallen through the ice, an office worker stuck in an elevator, or a motorist trapped in a crashed vehicle. They test and maintain their equipment, including self-contained breathing apparatus, hydrants, hoses, power tools, and apparatus. At the Massachusetts Firefighting Academy, recruits learn all these skills and more, including the latest science of fire behavior and suppression tactics from certified fire instructors. They also receive training in public fire education, hazardous material incident mitigation, flammable liquids, stress management, and self-rescue techniques. The intensive 10-week program involves classroom instruction, physical fitness training, firefighter skills training, and live firefighting practice. The MFA provides recruit and in-service training for career, call, and volunteer firefighters at every level of experience, from recruit to chief officer at campuses in Stowe, Springfield, and Bridgewater, and on site at local fire departments. Crews respond to crash in Fall River where vehicle takes out utility pole, by Ken Pava. Crews responded Monday to a crash in Fall River that split a utility pole. According to Detective Sergeant Matthew Mendez, at approximately 4:30 p.m., personnel arrived at a motor vehicle accident in which a vehicle hit a utility pole on Bedford Street between 12th and O'Grady. No serious injuries were reported. Mendez stated that officers are still on scene as the pole gets replaced. The cause of the crash is under investigation. New Massachusetts Department of Public Utilities orders target increased solar savings from the State House News Service. State officials have issued 2 new orders designed to expand access to solar power through a program that allows customers to offset their energy use and send excess energy they generate back to the grid in exchange for credits that can be applied to their energy bills. Under one order issued Friday by the Department of Public Utilities, the project threshold to net meter without a cap allocation would rise from 10 to 25 kilowatts, creating an opportunity for higher credit values. A second order implements exceptions outlined by the legislature to a rule that allowed only one net metering facility for each individual parcel of land. Regulators predict the change will help residents living in an affordable housing unit, condos, or townhouses on a single parcel. The updates to the net metering program will allow more people, businesses, and municipalities to take advantage of the many benefits solar energy has to offer, DPU Chair James Van Nostrand said. Customers can further cut their energy costs, driving more affordability in our clean energy transition. To fully implement the charges, electric distribution companies, Eversource, National Grid, and Unitil must submit new tariff filings to the DPU in January of 25. Once the filings have been submitted, the DPU will commence proceedings to update the tariff provisions. Eligible customers are able to contact their electric company to proactively be reclassified once the regulations are published in the Massachusetts Register in December, the department said. The next headline: Former Fall River Mayor Flanagan switches party affiliation to Republican, by Mike Sylvia. Fall River, Mass. In a surprising political shift, former Fall River Mayor Will Flanagan, a lifelong Democrat, has announced his decision to join the Republican Party. Flanagan, who was once a leader in the Democratic Party and who served as mayor of the city from 2010 to 2014, cited growing dissatisfaction with the Democratic Party's stance on key issues as the driving force behind his decision. Speaking to local media, Flanagan expressed concern over the party's positions on border security, abortion rights, and what he described as woke policies. I've always been proud to be a Democrat, but over time the party has moved in a direction that no longer aligns with my values or the needs of our community, Flanagan stated. I did not leave the party left me, explained Flanagan. We need policies that prioritize national security, uphold the rights of the unborn, and reject the divisive nature of identity politics. Flanagan's switch marks a significant moment for the region, as Fall River traditionally leaned heavily Democratic in its political affiliations. While he did not confirm immediate plans to re-enter public office, Flanagan hinted at staying engaged in state and federal politics. Flanagan joins a growing list of politicians across the country who have switched parties in response to ideological shifts within their ranks, reflecting broader debates on the future direction of the nation's political landscape. Up next, East Providence police looking for public's help after stolen credit card used at Seekonk department store, by Ken Pava. East Providence police are looking for the public's assistance in identifying an individual who used a stolen credit card to make a purchase. The purchase was made at Best Buy in Seekonk. If you know their identity, please contact Detective Patrick Kelly at 401-435-7600, extension 20020, or pkelly@eastprovidenceri.gov. Massachusetts State Police announced 8th Area Sobriety Checkpoint of 2024, by Ken Pava. The 8th Sobriety Checkpoint for 2024 has been announced for the area by Massachusetts State Police. Colonel Jeffrey Noble, Superintendent of the Massachusetts State Police, announced that a sobriety checkpoint will be implemented by the Massachusetts State Police on a public way in Bristol County. According to John Mon, the purpose of the checkpoints is to further educate the motoring public and strengthen the public's awareness to the need of detecting and removing those motorists who operate under the influence of alcohol and/or drugs from our roadways. It will be operated during varied hours. The selection of vehicles will not be arbitrary. Safety will be assured, and any inconveniences to motorists will be minimized with advance notice to reduce fear and anxiety. The checkpoint will take place in Bristol County starting Saturday, December 7th, 2024, into Sunday, December 8th, 2024, due to a grant by the Highway Safety Division of the Massachusetts Executive Office of Public Safety and Security. FBI offering $15,000 reward as they follow leads across the country for missing Maine girl, by Ken Pava. The Boston Division of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Maine State Police continue to seek the public's assistance in locating 14-year-old Stephanie Damron of New Sweden, Maine. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $15,000 for information leading to the safe return of Stephanie Damron and/or the arrest and prosecution of anyone involved in her disappearance. The FBI hopes this reward will incentivize anyone with information relating to Stephanie's whereabouts to come forward. Any detail, no matter how small, could be helpful, said Jody Cohen, special agent in charge of the FBI Boston Division. Stephanie's family desperately wants to know where she is, and we are fully committed to helping our law enforcement partners exhaust every investigative resource to find her and bring her home. The Maine State Police remain steadfast in our investigation into Stephanie's disappearance. Every lead, no matter how small, is being thoroughly pursued to find her, said Maine State Police Colonel William Ross. We deeply appreciate the FBI's support as we continue to urge anyone with information to come forward. Your tip could be the key to resolving this case and providing answers for Stephanie's family. Stephanie was reported missing by her family on September 24th of 2024 and was last seen walking out of her house and into the woods located on West Road in New Sweden. At the time of her disappearance, she was reportedly wearing blue jeans, a long-sleeved blue shirt, and black Harley-Davidson hiking boots. Stephanie is a white female with green eyes and shoulder-length brown hair. She is approximately 5 feet tall, weighs approximately 130 pounds, is homeschooled with limited access to social media. Immediately after she was reported missing, the FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, CARD, of special agents specifically trained and experienced in missing children matters, deployed to assist Maine State Police with the search. Despite extensive investigative efforts, including a neighborhood canvas and video search, along with an expansive grid search utilizing canines by the Maine Warden Service and Maine State Police. Stephanie remains missing. Investigators have also conducted dozens of interviews and followed up on potential leads in Maine, across the country, and in Canada. The FBI's CARD team will continue to assist Maine State Police with on-the-ground investigative, technical, behavioral analysis, and analytical support. The public is being asked to play an active role in helping us find Stephanie by reviewing her updated missing person poster and sharing it on social media. Anyone with information should immediately call the Maine State Police Holton Barracks at 1-800-824-2261 or 207-532-5400. You may also contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI, FBI office, your local FBI office, or submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. As a reminder, this is Audible Local Ledger for Tuesday, 12/3/24. We're reading articles from the Fall River Reporter. The next headline, Opinion Letter. The scarcity and cost of housing helped turn Fall River, a blue city, red, by Ken Pava. The following is an opinion letter submitted to the Fall River Reporter and was not written by us. Fall River turned red in the last election, shocking Democrats and launching a search to find what had changed in the once deep blue city. The primary answer came quickly from the people of Fall River themselves in interview after interview. We are angry and frustrated that we cannot keep up with the cost of living, especially the cost of housing in our city. The numbers back them up. In a city with one of the lowest median household incomes in the state, $53,000, a dangerously low housing vacancy rate of 1.2% has driven up rents dramatically. By some estimates, rents for all units increased by 35% between 2017 and 2022, and rents for new private market leases have risen much more, from 68% to 88% between 2017 and 2024, according to Federal Housing and Urban Development estimates. A recent apartment listing shows an average rent of $2,044 for a two-bedroom apartment in Fall River. Mass Inc.'s recent comprehensive study of housing in the 26 gateway cities shows Fall River with the most severe housing shortage, almost the greatest shortage of housing affordable to the lowest income households, and the highest rate of no-cause evictions. According to an exhaustive new report from the Massachusetts Law Reform Institute, a lot of Fall River's damage is self-inflicted. The city has overseen a shrinking supply of low-cost rental housing, failed to build or preserve affordable housing, and left millions in housing aid unused on the table. Fall River has ignored the housing struggles of working-class residents and voters as it awards tax breaks for exclusively market-rate and luxury housing rather than mixed-income developments, as suggested throughout the Mass Inc. report. Fall River is riding a wave of exciting changes, including the long-awaited arrival of the South Coast Rail and a massive waterfront redevelopment. While working-class and low-income residents welcome the city's revitalization, they need more affordable rental housing and protection from rising rents, evictions, and displacement. As the Mass Inc. report urges, we must ensure that all residents can remain in these areas and benefit from new development. MLRI reviewed a wider range of public records to understand how and why affordable housing was dropped from the city's priorities. It became clear from the numbers that while half of the city's renters were struggling with housing costs, city leaders moved their focus toward a higher income demographic, incentivizing and giving tax breaks to market rate and luxury projects for smaller households with disposable income at the cost of affordable inventory. The number of homes that working-class Fall River residents could comfortably rent shrank, and the affordable housing development pipeline went unfilled. Some Fall River officials and leaders have argued that the city has enough, if not more than enough, affordable rental housing and doesn't need any more. The MLRI report uncovered a very different story, an increase in scarcity of rental housing within the means of local households. Unlike several other gateway communities, Fall River has allowed decreases in affordable and public housing, prioritized upscale developments, adding more than 600 market rate and luxury units since 2017 and giving zonal approval to over 2,000 market rate units, developed almost no mixed income or affordable housing and very little for families with children, allocated none or only a small share of the millions of dollars available that could have been used to preserve and increase the supply of affordable housing. None of the $85.6 million in federal ARPA funds available to the city, none of the recent $14.9 million in community development block grants, and only 5% of its $12.8 million in CPA funds through 2023, although a minimum of 10% is required. No wonder Fall River voters are so angry. While nobody begrudges Fall River adding market rate housing for higher income residents, the city cannot continue supporting 100% higher priced projects that have no room for lower income and working class residents while turning away millions in resources that could help families rent homes within their means and remain in the city. The election results should be a wake-up call for Fall River to change course and consider recommendations, such as those in the MLRI report, to rebalance the city's priorities and provide housing across a range of incomes. Judith Lieben is a housing attorney and access to justice fellow at the Massachusetts Law Reform Institute. Massachusetts State Police, Freetown Fire EMS respond to Route 24 wrong-way head-on crash that seriously injured 3. By Ken Pava. Crews responded to a wrong-way collision on a local highway on Friday. According to Sergeant Gregory Jones, at approximately 6:30 p.m., troopers from the Dartmouth Barracks responded to Route 24 South at exit 11 in the town of Freetown with regards to a wrong-way driver which ended in a 2-car crash. The local fire department, EMS, responded to the scene. 3 adults were treated on scene for serious injuries, then transported to a local hospital for further medical treatment. No arrests were stated. Newest Neighborhood Urgent Care Center opens in Fall River, ribbon cutting taking place this week. Ken Pava. Fall River's newest Neighborhood Urgent Care Center is now open. Recognizing there is limited access to non-life-threatening health care in Fall River, along with chronic emergency room overcrowding in the region, Dr. Stephen Gagliardi, Medical Director of Highland Urgent Care, and William Gagliardi, President of Highland Management Group, LLC, concluded that there was a clear need for a full-service, independent urgent care to serve the entire family. A ribbon-cutting ceremony is scheduled at Highland Place, 1151 Robeson Street, Fall River, on December 4th, 2024, at 10 a.m. Highland Urgent Care will have Mayor Paul Coogan, State Representative Carol Fiola, and a host of local dignitaries at the event to formally announce the opening to the public. Hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturdays and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Here's a story from the New Bedford Light. Opinion. Giving Tuesday embodies choice, celebrates community. Even the simplest acts, such as picking a family from an angel tree or providing groceries to someone in need, contribute to building a compassionate, interwoven community. By Dr. Melanie Edwards Tavares, South Coast Community Foundation. Each day we are confronted with a landscape of challenges that can feel daunting. Yet amid these obstacles, Giving Tuesday, held on the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, is a reminder that we have the capacity to directly impact the lives of others. Giving Tuesday embodies the power of choice. It's about determining what resonates with us most and taking concrete actions to support it. Whether you alleviate food insecurity by buying groceries for someone in need, contribute to scholarships that broaden educational access, volunteer for a community cleanup, or uplift local culture by attending an arts event, Giving Tuesday provides us the platform to invest in the future we wish to cultivate. At its essence, Giving Tuesday celebrates community. It highlights our shared mission to enhance our local environments regardless of our differences. Each act of kindness, no matter how big or small, lays the groundwork for a stronger, more united community. From my perspective, every day exemplifies the generosity that exists around us. Donors champion causes close to their hearts, volunteers commit their time and energy, and people lend support where needed most. Even in uncertain times, the spirit of giving serves as a reminder that we hold the power to effect change. The truth is that the hurdles we face often seem overwhelming. However, Giving Tuesday is a reminder that we hold the power to confront these challenges with purpose. By contributing to local food banks, patronizing cultural organizations, or supporting students' educational journeys, we can all play a role. Giving Tuesday extends beyond monetary donations. It encompasses the gifts of time, energy, and voice, each capable of leaving a lasting impact. As this global movement grows, it invites us to reflect on how we can influence our communities. Recent data from the U.S. Giving Pulse survey reveals that 80% of individuals express a willingness to assist others regardless of differing beliefs or lifestyles. Over 75% feel actively engaged in enhancing their communities, and nearly 90% have performed random acts of kindness at some point in their lives. These statistics illuminate the innate generosity in all of us. Organizations across the nation, be they universities, faith-based groups, governments, schools, or nonprofits, depend on philanthropy to achieve their missions. However, philanthropy doesn't necessitate grand gestures. Even the simplest acts, such as picking a family from an angel tree or providing groceries to someone in need, contribute to building a compassionate, interwoven community. This Giving Tuesday, I urge you to reflect on the issues that matter most to you, whether combating hunger, championing the arts, or supporting a struggling neighbor. Choose to give what you can, be it time, resources, or your voice. Together we can forge a future characterized by compassion, connectivity, and justice. The world we aspire to create begins with the decisions we make today. Let's ensure those choices resonate. Join the global movement of Giving Tuesday, and let's unite to cultivate a stronger, more giving future for our communities. The South Coast Community Foundation works in 41 communities in southeastern Massachusetts and supports thousands of students and hundreds of nonprofit organizations, institutions of higher education, and local municipalities to our region's needs. Last year we gave out nearly $6 million in grants and over $800,000 in scholarship. If you are unsure where to direct your philanthropy this season, consider a gift to the South Coast Community Foundation and reach out to us if you are looking for more information about nonprofits in our region. That's all for today. Thanks for listening.